Hey everyone, this is Ian Miller,
What's going on, guys? It's Andrew.
and welcome back to another episode of Media Talk with Nolan Smith. Tonight, we're actually going to shake things up a bit and talk about a Broadway musical that we just saw, which was what, Friday?
Friday night, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's now playing at the Hudson Theater. It's Once Upon a Mattress.
I have to tell you, going into the show, I wasn't sure what to expect. Uh, you know?
I'm absolutely in agreement. I know it's based on the Princess and the Pea fairy tale, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but I knew very little about the musical.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, from what you told me, I mean, there were different adaptations,
Yeah,
for this from the show. But again, there was plays that also did star Carol Burnett, actually.
yeah. And this was on the let's see, the 1959 through 1960 run,
Mm-hmm.
and that was on Broadway before it went on the U.S. national tour,
Right.
and then ended up at West End again, 1960.
Right.
But it all started on Broadway with Carol Burnett as the lead character.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you and I can agree. I mean, Carol Burnett is just, one of the greatest actresses out there, and she's a legend. I
Yeah,
mean, well,
one of the best comedians that there's ever been.
hmm I, I I definitely agree, 100%.
Yeah, I've often showed clips of the Carol Burnett show to the UN fellows sometimes. Especially
Right.
with every some of the other cast members.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their skits are very funny, but they did a lot of breaking. Breaking the fourth wall and meaning making the actors cracking up.
Right.
Obviously, this was pre-Saturday Night Live and all that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, but you know, I mean, I never saw the old play, obviously.
Yeah,
But just seeing her past performances on TV shows and stuff like that. I mean, she's just really great.
yeah, absolutely. So this has been this revival has been going on for a number of years now. The show has been revived many times on Broadway. One of them
Hmm.
in particular was by with Sarah Jessica Parker in the lead role.
Right. Right. I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that performance was, but this was in '96 to '97, and this was at
Mhm.
the Broadhurst Theater.
Right.
And
Right.
that
Right. Yeah.
was after 35 previews and 188 regular performances.
Hmm.
But this revival that's currently at the Hudson Theater
Hmm.
stars Sutton Forrester, who's well known for the TV Land sitcom Younger.
Right. 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 Yeah. I mean, I never saw that show. I mean, but
Yeah, and she came off of The Music Man, which was what, a couple years ago.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm very curious about her performance in that because her performance in Once Upon a Mattress was just stellar.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much what I told you, like during the intermission and everything like that. It was, she was amazing, with her amazing voice and her comedic talent and everything like that. I mean, it was just amazing. You know, there was like this one part in the show that I found really, really funny and amusing, and I'm sure, and you heard everybody laughing at this part as well. There was this one part where she was, in her room in the castle, in her room, and she was just walking around and then just eating the food, and just just sitting there just quietly and eating the food, and everybody's just hysterically laughing. You
Well,
know?
it's also her comedic timing, especially when
Oh
she's
yeah.
grapes. She's trying to stuff as much as them as she can in her mouth. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then she drops them on the floor, and then she tries to pick them up, and it's. But that whole thing, that's my point. She's just very hilarious in the show, in general. But that's one part that stood out for me. That was very, very funny.
Yeah, another thing I saw for me was her physical humor, because when she's on the mattress, she's actually dangling her legs, her bottom half of her body,
Yeah,
trying to get on top of it. And I'm like, oh my god. Then she's trying to get a comfortable position, on the mattresses, because
right.
I think there was like 27 mattresses, on there, and there's a little pea under one of them, and she just can't get to sleep. And then I'm just like, oh my god.
She tries to find every comfortable way to find, and nothing works.
Yeah, she pulled it off beautifully. I think she's fantastic.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
She did a really, really amazing job. Um, there was this show does also star the mother who I found really, really funny, played by Anna Gasteyer.
Uh,
Um, and from what you've told me, your mom worked with her a little bit, right?
yeah. For those who don't know this, folks, my mom is a makeup artist, and she used to do the guest hosts on Saturday Night Live for about 13 years.
Hmm.
And Anna was one of the obviously the cast members at that time. This is like in the 90s. And I got to tell you, Smith, people were calling my mother, Mama, in the makeup room before she was even a mother. Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah. And my mom and Anna got along beautifully. When they ended up working together on a couple of shows like The Good Wife or The Good Fight.
Right.
And the minute she saw my mom, she was like, "Mama!" in the makeup room. I was like, "Oh my god!" I remember my mom telling the story. I was like, "Wow, that's
That's
just that's just crazy."
that's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Have you ever met her yourself, or you never met her?
I have never met her. I have seen her work on SNL. I knew her of her comedic talents,
Hmm.
because the way her comedic timing is also spectacular. Mostly, obviously, because of the years of SNL. I
Right.
did not know she had a great singing voice.
Oh, she was amazing. She was great. She had
Yeah,
a really great singing voice.
yeah. I looked at her. I looked at her resume a bit. I know she did a lot of musicals,
Hmm.
including Reefer Madness, and that was a television production on Showtime. I was like, wow. I did not know her that musical background, so I was very impressed.
Wow. No, but she played this part of the queen, the mother, very, very, very well.
Yeah,
She did a really, really great job. Part of this, in her role, she plays the queen where you kind of like she wants to, you know, have her son happy, but she also, doesn't want to give up the throne because she has too much power, you know?
yeah. So she kind of keeps her son, just at a certain level.
Yes. Her son is
Eh,
her son is played by Michael Urie. um, but um, she pretty much just, was really great in that role, and I, you know, I, I, I liked her from the start.
yeah,
I liked this whole cast from the start.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. And it was just, just likable from the get go. Sudden when she came on the stage, you're like, oh my god, this we're definitely gonna be in a great show. We're in a great start, but this is gonna be even better now.
well, when Sutton Foster came on the stage, you could hear the applause that she got.
Oh yeah, the audience was, folks. The audience was so jam packed. We could definitely hear. I heard the loudest audience I've ever heard in a theater in a very long time. This was a big audience.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, she was, from the moment she got on stage, everyone started clapping, and she was, everybody loved her. You
Yeah,
know. Mm.
I wish I saw her Music Man now, because I'm curious about that performance.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm
Yeah,
actually kind of curious about that too. But
say Levy. Yeah, the character of Dauntless is very interesting, because he wants to obviously appease his mother,
Mhm.
the queen, but he also does want to find companionship.
Oh yeah, Dauntless actually wants to try and find that that freedom, you
Yeah,
know. But I mean, yes, he wants to please his mother. He wants to be the good son, but also, you know, he wants to find that freedom, and also he wanted to find someone to spend his life with, and kind of with Winifred, Fred, as her nickname was. Um, um, she kind of broke Dauntless out of that shell, I should say.
yeah. He gained more confidence, especially in the second act,
Yeah,
because they liked each other instantly. But it's the kind of thing, folks. When you find that certain someone, you get more confident, you get more ambitious. In a good way.
yeah.
It makes you think anything's possible.
Well, anything can be possible.
That is true. That is true. Especially when you got that right person in your corner.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, we obviously, for those who have not seen the show yet, you should go see it.
Yeah.
Really, really,
Just go and watch the show.
just
Go
go
to the Hudson Theater and go buy tickets.
go buy tickets right now. I'm telling you right now. Go online right now and buy them. I'm telling you
Yeah.
that right now.
They're very reasonably priced, and you won't regret it because not only is the show great, I have to say, this is probably the most comfortable seat I've ever sat in the theater. It was so comfortable, and I had enough leg room.
Oh yeah, it was very comfortable. It was a decent sized theater. Um, this the stage wasn't that big, but it was perfect for that kind of show. So
Yeah,
the way it
uh,
was.
yeah, it was interesting how they staged, the production, especially with having the orchestra in the backstage,
Yeah,
and having the set, in front. Obviously, there was no room for, an orchestra in the front,
right.
but it made sense in the back. And seeing, the music players, playing the music, it's spectacular because it already transports you to another time,
Hmm.
a simpler time in Broadway theaters.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this does take place. This show does take place within the medieval times. Um,
Yeah, but it does have some modern takes on it.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and that's all thanks to the woman who wrote the adaptation, Amy Sherman Palladino, who did Gilmore Girls and The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Right. I mean, I've never seen Marvelous Miss Maisel, so I'm not really too familiar with her work, but she did a really great job for this show. So
Yeah, I did see the show a little bit. It's a very funny show, mostly about the stand-up comics, in the 50s and 60s.
hmm
And yeah, I love stand-up comedy because at one point I was going to be a stand-up comedian.
right, which you did at one point, which I saw. You did a very great job.
I did a couple of shows. And yeah, I had some great laughs, and yeah, maybe I'll do that as a hobby at some point. But still, it was fun. But anyway, back to the subject at hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Melody did a fantastic job with the adaptation.
no, 100%. No, they did. She did a really, really great job.
Yeah, as well as some of the other actors and the characters, like with Lady Larkin and Sir Harry.
Right. You have Will Chase, who played Sir Harry.
Yeah,
Um, who was his character was very, what's the word I'm looking for?
I want to. I don't. I'm trying to think of a better term than aloof.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, he wasn't quite all there, but
all there.
still, for what was there, he generally loved Lady Larkin.
Oh, you could tell he loved her, you know,
Yeah,
so much. And then, um, I mean, yes, he did focus a lot on his Spurs,
yeah. Those stories from this angle and that angle.
both angles. Like, check out my Spurs. Um, but no, you could definitely tell, how much he loved her and, the connection they had between them and the chemistry. So that was really great.
Yeah,
And, just the thought of, the fact that, he was willing to do anything for her and didn't want to lose her, shows, how much, you know, they were willing to do and, how much they loved each other.
yeah, yeah. So it's nice to seeing that love story develop as the show goes on,
Hmm.
and obviously the chemistry between Winifred or Fred and
Yeah.
Don. That grows.
Yeah. Um, I mean, yeah, going back to that for a second, I'll just add in there without just giving too much away. Um, there is something that um, Fred has to do in order to be, his wife and his princess. Um, and, you know, during the show, you could see how much Dauntless wants to help, you know, Winifred or
Yeah,
Fred, I should say. Um, you just, that's, that's love right there.
yeah,
Just doing everything that he can to make sure she completes what she has to do.
yeah. Because the queen, gives every suitor a ridiculous amount of tests. I was like, oh my god, you don't
Yeah.
want them to succeed, do you? You just want to hold on to that power. It's like, oh my,
Didn't look like it. Yeah.
it was ridiculous. I was ridiculous. At some point, I was like, okay, the king has to say something here. I know he hasn't said anything in the show because he can't. But I'm like, my God, he must be so infuriated and frustrated with her.
Speaking of the king, what did you think of his performance?
He was fantastic. It's not easy, to mime, what you want to say,
Right.
you know, especially doing it at performance after performance. Just the physicality alone is just tough. But
Yeah.
he did it phenomenally, and especially with that scene with him and Dauntless talking about the birds and the
The
bees.
birds and the bees, man to man talk.
Yeah, that awkward phrase where the parents had to talk to the children about the birds and the bees. We all know you parents have had this conversation. So
One time,
imagine how awkward it would be to do it, to show it physically without saying it.
right. I mean, Dauntless, had a little trouble, trying to figure out what his father was saying. Obviously, want to know what marriage was all about and stuff like that. But
It took about maybe 2 minutes. The father was really trying to, establish what happens, and then suddenly the son got it.
hmm yeah, so that was a great job on both their parts, especially the
Yeah,
king. Yeah, but no, I totally agree with you 100% that the king, even though he didn't have a lot of lines, he or hardly any lines, you know, he did a fantastic fantastic job.
yeah. Well, there is one line at the end,
Well,
but again, you have to see the show to see what happens there.
yeah, I didn't say he didn't have any lines. I'm just saying
I know,
he.
I know, I know. I just say the jester played by Daniel Breaker was fantastic as well.
Oh yeah, from the moment he started coming on to the show, he was the first one out there. You know, everyone just started laughing with what from what he did on the show.
Yeah, well, he wasn't just the jester; he was also the narrator,
Right.
which really did help, obviously, especially in the beginning, because it's always nice to have a little narrator you doing the traditional "Once upon a time,"
Yeah.
"Once upon a mattress."
And there you go. Once upon a mattress. Ah, there you go. I see what you did there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. Even the wizard was nice. Seeing a lot of the magic tricks happening on there.
hmm
Yeah, it's amazing. I always get fascinated by magic because I once worked with a magician years ago during the summer,
Yeah.
and he did all these elaborate tricks. And yeah, I saw a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff, but it's always fascinating to see stuff like that, even in a Broadway production.
No, no, I agree. I mean that was that was pretty great as well. I totally agree.
Yeah, but how about the orchestra? Huh? How about them?
Oh my God, orchestra did a fantastic job. You know, it was placed the right way. Like you said before. Um, you got to give credit to them as well. I mean,
Yeah, even going into it, when they first started playing, like I said, it does transport you back to another time, in
right,
particular summertime, but it reminds you a little bit of the 1990s Disney animated feature films in a
right.
way. Because a lot of those were worked by Broadway people,
Hmm.
especially the music and the lyrics, because it's very showy, it's very, musical jazz oriented. And you're like, why wasn't there an animated feature film of this? But there was a Disney production of this.
Yes, there was. Um, there was a Disney production in 2005.
Yeah.
Um, and it was played by actually it was Carol Burnett was actually in that movie. Um,
Get out of here.
yeah, yeah, she actually played the Queen.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then you had Zoe Deschanel as Lady Larkin and Matthew Morrison as Sir Harry. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and then you had Tracy Ullman as Winifred.
That's an interesting casting choice, but okay.
Yeah, and then Dennis O'Hare as Dauntless.
Very nice.
So pretty good cast for that film.
Yeah, from what I understand, Carol has been part of each of the television productions. So that's
Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah, she did it in 1964 and 1972. 64 was the black and white version, and then they actually did a colored version in 1972.
Yeah, I'm still thinking that maybe Disney would benefit at doing a traditional animated feature film of this. Maybe hire Sutton Forrester and the rest of the cast to do it.
Oh, I'm sure they would jump at the chance to do it.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. But it makes it, now we're thinking. Now we're thinking.
It's definitely something to think about. Absolutely.
Yeah. After all, they adapted the Little Mermaid, so why not the Princess and the Pea?
No, definitely. Um, but yeah, going back, it's just from watching, you could tell like a little bits and pieces in there. From the pieces that were in the show, you could actually pretty much see their expressions on their face when everyone's laughing. Like you could see a little smile on some of their faces.
Yeah, they try not to break a character,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's clear that they generally get along with each other. It's
Hmm.
always helpful to see stuff like that because you have to do this show every single day.
Oh
You
yeah.
got to do it the matinee, then you got to do the night shows, and you're like, well, I got to get along with my cast, because otherwise it's just gonna be a long production.
Hmm.
But they generally like each other, which is fantastic. It makes the show that much more enjoyable.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. I mean, you have to have that, that connection with each other. You have to, have fun with each other. And I'm sure they were thinking to themselves when they did the show that they were just having a heck of a time, and they were having fun with it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were fun. I would have liked to have been there for rehearsals though, see how they would have done.
Yeah, just to see, how they would, interact with as the characters, saying, okay, how can I say this more funny,
Yeah,
or like, where, what can I do that's not, going over the line.
right.
But yeah, I would have loved to see that in the rehearsals because in rehearsals is always they're always fine tuning everything
Hmm.
for production, every show or movie for that matter, because they're
Yeah,
like, Okay, wait to see what works, what doesn't work. Work out the kinks before get a previews, and then eventually opening night.
Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I mean, previews obviously went very well, and then once the show started, it just took off from there, which was, very good for the show. It was pretty exciting. So
Yeah. Also, that's the theater itself is just great. It's very great. It's very that the ushers are very professional. Very
mhm.
helpful.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to give credit to the ushers as well. I mean, like you said, they're very professional. They pretty much know where stuff is around the theater. Showing you to your seats was actually pretty professional as well. So got to give props to them and credit to them as well. They were a big part of that also.
Yeah, but you really cannot bring out your cell phones
Yeah.
during production because that's a no.
Yeah, no, that is a big no-no. They will catch you, but
Oh, they will shine a flashlight on you, but thankfully nobody did that. Nobody did
no,
that because everyone was very respectful.
right.
Because again, we're the show for the other fans, but for God's sakes, it's very distracting to the actors. So just you got to be respectful for the actors as well because they're doing a performance. They're entertaining everybody. So we're messing up for everybody.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, it's just you don't want to, like you said. I mean, you don't want to distract the actors or anything like that. I mean, that's why they have that rule in place. It's just be
That's
respectful. That's all.
exactly. But yeah, go see Once Upon a Mattress at the Hudson Theater. But it's a great revival. But here's the thing: it's on a limited run.
Hmm. Yeah, it's there until November 30th. So still got a little bit of time.
Actually, that'd be great for a Thanksgiving, show.
Yes, actually, yes, absolutely.
I wonder if they actually had the Macy's party this year. Nah, probably not.
Mm, I don't know.
Maybe. You know
Huh?
what?
Yeah,
Well, this is way in the future. This is way in the future.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
come on, man. It's a little bit it's a little bit far in the future.
yeah. But I just say I can't say enough good things about the show because it was just great from beginning to end.
No, 100%. I just want to say if to the cast members, if you guys are watching this, you did a really, really, really great job, all of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You 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 brought out the excitement, you brought out the comedy, the laughter, the entertainment, all that stuff. So congrats to you guys. You did a really great job.
Yeah, and it's so good to laugh these days. It's so good to laugh. If you're folks, if you're down right now and you need a pick me up, go see Once Upon a Mattress.
Oh yes, 100%. You won't be disappointed. Um, you'll yeah, you'll come out smiling at by the end of it, and you'll think, oh wow, I'm really glad I actually saw this. It was a really tremendous show.
Yeah, I was still laughing at the. I came out laughing when I was thinking about a sudden force just swinging her legs on the mattress and
Yeah,
spitting up the grapes and all that. And,
I mean, I can still picture it in my head right now. Oh man.
then and I get the restaurant the queen, just say next to each of the suitors. I was like, oh my god, that's totally her.
Oh
That's just
my god.
fantastic.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's like you said, I enjoyed the show from beginning to end, and I hope the show keeps, until its run is over. I still hope it still sells out, and I hope it still performs well, which I'm 100% sure that they will. So
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, it's a feel good show, and yeah, you're going up against some of the other shows out there like Wicked or The Lion King, you
yeah,
know, stuff that's been around for years. But it's always refreshing to see shows like this, shows like Revivals coming back,
right.
especially at the Hudson Theater because they just came off of Merrily We Roll Along, which won Best Revival at the
Oh
time.
yeah, Yeah, I mean, I heard that was a great show as well, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
what was interesting was when we were in the lounge, I saw that one of the new photographs was up there from that production. You know, you had Danny Radcliffe in there. You know, I
right,
was like, wow, I
right,
must
yeah,
have known that.
yeah. No, I saw the same thing. Yeah, that was great. I mean, back to well for the Hudson Theater for a minute. I mean, the lounge was actually really great.
Oh
And,
yeah,
you know,
great service. You know, great seats.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, you had the balcony up there, which really wasn't a bad view at all. It really wasn't.
No, no, it wasn't. It had a great view of the stage. You know,
Yeah,
because sometimes with the balconies, you get vertigo. You're going, whoa,
yeah.
don't want to sit too close to the edge.
No, no, but yeah, the balcony was just actually really good seats,
Yeah,
perfect view. So that was, you know, um, great view of the seats, the stage. So yeah,
yeah. So, like I said, folks, you want for a good time, go see Once Upon a Mattress.
yes, you won't regret it. I promise.
Yeah, it's always great to keep the playbills. I think, you know, especially when you have the cast members of the time in there.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree. I have mine too.
Yeah, I think I still like Billy Crystal from Saturday Night in there. So that was nice. Well, folks, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. Join us next time as we obviously give our in-depth review of Deadpool and Wolverine, Alien Romulus,
hmm
and what else? What else? What else?
And then we'll be discussing what we will be seeing next week in Beetlejuice.
Yeah. But wait a second.
Oh, wait, what?
You just said it twice. You said his name twice. Don't say it. Say it the third time.
Oh, come on. Really?
I'm dead serious about this. Don't say his name three times. You know why I'm up here,
Okay, that's part of the title. That doesn't count.
dude. I'm telling you. Don't say his name three times. You can say it once, you can say it twice, but not three. Otherwise, he will appear.
Okay, it's part of the title, like I said. But what would you rather call him?
Call him Mr. B.
Mr. B. Okay.
Just don't say it.
Okay.
On
Oh,
that note, folks,
yes.
I'm Ian Miller,
I'm Andrew Smith.
and this has been Me and Talk Nolan Smith. Have yourselves a good night.
Good night, guys.
If you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.